Looking around last week, Vince, I was disappointed with the MSG Rutland crowd, but actually the crowd tonight isn't too bad. It's close to being as big as the one last week.
Makeup. Trying to...
No.
Trying to make amends here, Jack.
No, nobody's saying anything to me. Tonight's game being taped for broadcast at a later time on Channel 15.
Jack drinking on the job again. This is the best commercial. Forget all the Super Bowl ones. A testimonial for Diet 7-Up brought to you by Jack Healey.
Actually, I didn't mean Diet 7-Up. I meant to get sliced, but 7-Up came out of the machine. Do you ever notice that?
Right. No.
But Brian Mayhew is the cameraman. Oh, I'll tell you, Mount Anthony, when you think of basketball in the state of Vermont, I know Mount Anthony down a little bit the last couple of years, but you have to think of the Patriots still.
5 in a row.
And they actually won 4 in a row back in the 70s as well. Jeff Galley will be jumping center for the Patriots, as the Patriots will be going right to left here in the first half. Aaron Boynton for the Raiders going left to right here in the first half. And the tap is controlled by Boynton, gets it to Mayhew. Mayhew into the forecourt, left sideline for Jake Eaton. Back to Mayhew. Mayhew dribbles left to right, picked up by Harpin off the man-to-man. Mount Anthony in the man-to-man early. Mayhew dribbles toward the left sideline and goes out front to Eaton, on the right to Conway, down the sideline to Boynton, down low to Mayhew, back to the free throw line to Bailey. Fires up, it's no good. Rebound tapped around, and it is finally controlled by Galley. Galley sends it to Derek Harpin. Harpin is a sophomore for the Patriots. The Raiders in the man-to-man. Sends it to the right sideline now for Lucia. Lucia dribbles into the lane, fires up around the rim and in, but it won't count. We got a whistle and a foul before the shot. And the foul is on Jake Conway. That's his first, and that is the first on the team. Again, it was before the shot. Mount Anthony's basketball from the baseline.
Lucia put his head down, headed right to the basket, managed to put the ball up and in, but John Phoenix, the official, whistled it was on the floor.
With it out front, Harpin down to the right sideline. Here's Wolf, a 17-footer. It's no good. And the rebound left baseline by Lucia. Short baseline jumper, no good. Getting way up there for the rebound is Boynton. Outlet to Mayhew. Mayhew into the forecourt, dribbles right to left. To the left wing now to Eaton. His three is good. Jake Eaton, the freshman. That's the Raiders on the board. The Raiders lead it 3-0. 6:48 left first quarter. Some full court Raider pressure. Harpin with it now. Harpin into the forecourt as he sends it on the right to Bill Wolf near the right sideline. Picked up by Eaton, back to Harpin. On the left wing it goes to Galley. Galley looking around, sends it back out front to Harpin. Harpin to cross in the lane. Back down low for the turnaround from the right baseline from Lucia. And it's 3-2 as Lucia hits the bucket. 3-2. The Raiders lead it by 1 here in the early going. Lucia hit the baseline jumper. With it right baseline, it is Boynton to the right side of the lane. A short jumper is good off the glass, and the Raiders are up 5-2. 6:09 left first quarter. Some Raider full court pressure, and the Patriots throw the ball away. Cross tried to get it in, and it apparently was deflected by a Raider. No, it was not. It went straight out of bounds, so it's Rutland's basketball. So nice defensive pressure by the Raiders causing the turnover. Eaton gets it out to Conway, top of the circle for 3 hits. Raiders got a couple of threes in the early going and lead it by a score of 8-2. With it in the backcourt is Bill Wolf for Mount Anthony. Wolf still in the backcourt, gets it to Derek Harpin, a 5'7" sophomore. Going to work on Mayhew as he dribbles to the right side of the lane. To the right sideline, it goes to Lucia. Head fakes, back on the right wing to Galley. Out front, top of the circle to Wolf. To the right side of the lane, back to Harpin. Dribbles left to right to the key to the left side of the lane. Underneath to Lucia, and Lucia lays it in. 6-foot junior, Chris Lucia.
Nice patience offensively by the Patriots, working the ball inside, outside. Finally on the skip pass inside to Lucia. He's got 4.
8-4. The Raiders lead it by 4. 5:20 left here in the first quarter. Pass down low to Boynton, and we got a whistle. I think Boynton might have stepped on the baseline, so it's off the Raiders. It's Mount Anthony's basketball. Cross looking to put the ball into play. David Cross, a 6'1" senior, gets it into Derek Harpin. Harpin picked up by Mayhew in the backcourt. Some full court Raider pressure. Derek Harpin gets it into the forecourt. Dribbles to the right side of the lane. Falls down. Lost the ball out of bounds at the baseline. It's Rutland's basketball. Chris Mayhew into the forecourt. Mayhew down the left sideline. Dribbles left to right. Gets it out to Bailey. To the right sideline now to Conway. Conway going to work on Wolf. Sends it back out to Eaton on the left to Mayhew between the sideline and the key. Back to Boynton right side of the circle. Boynton picked up by Galley. Got it to Conway into the lane. 14-footer. No good. Rebound. Boynton had it knocked away by Cross. Re-stolen by Conway. And we got a whistle and a foul. And they're going to call a foul on Jake Conway. That's the second on Conway, the second on the team.
Could have gone either way that time. Both so. Conway and Cross were going for it. They whistled Conway with the push on Cross, and that's a big foul against Jake Conway. His second here. Haven't even played half of this first quarter.
Eric Harpin sends it to Lucia near the left sideline. Going to work on Conway. Dribbles to the left baseline. Tried to feed Cross off him. Goes to Wolf. Short jumper from the right side. An air ball. And it goes out of bounds off Conway and also Lucia. Jump ball situation. It'll be Mount Anthony's basketball.
That could be a story. The 2 personals on Jake Conway. Due to his aggressive style, it'd be really careful for him to not pick up his 3rd foul here early.
Pass comes into Lucia, right corner, down low to Galley at the baseline, out of Wolf in the lane. His short jumper's no good, but we got a whistle. I'm not sure what they call.
3 seconds.
3 seconds. 3-second violation against Mount Anthony. It's Raiders basketball. Raiders lead at 8-4, the early going. 4:25 left first quarter here at the Keep Gym. Both clubs in the man-to-man. Mayhew going to work on Harpin. Mayhew to the lane, and we got a whistle and a foul against Mount Anthony. The foul is on Harpin. It was on the ball then. His first on the team. As the Raiders' Joe Duval checks into the ball game now for Jake Conway, who sits down with the 2 personal fouls, as Chris Mayhew getting set to put the ball into play. Mayhew has his thumb taped up. He does have a thumb injury, but he's playing tonight. Got it to Duval, to Bailey on the right to Mayhew. Near the right sideline. Back out front, it goes to Jake Eaton. On the left to Bailey between the sideline and the lane. Aaron Bailey dribbles one, sends it out front to Eaton. On the right sideline now to Joe Duval. Going to work on Wolf. Dribbles toward the middle and stops. Gets it out to Aaron Boynton. Now he sends it to Mayhew, midcourt circle. Raiders very patient offensively. Mayhew spins into the lane, stops, back out to Duval on the left now to Jake Eaton. Eaton to the left baseline to Bailey, back out to Eaton for 3 from the left wing. Bang! Jake Eaton, his second 3 of the ball game, and the Raiders have opened up a 7-point lead. They lead at 11-4. Here comes Lucia, coast to coast. He lays it up and in. Almost lost the handle. He took it right to left across the lane and laid it in. 11-6, the Raiders by 5. 3:30 left first quarter. Mayhew at the right baseline. Sends it out to Bailey, right wing. His jumper's good. 13-6, Rutland by 7.
There's Mayhew penetrating and dishing it back outside to Bailey for the open 10-footer.
Here's Harpin. He lost control. Scramble for the basketball with Mayhew. We got a whistle. And we got a foul on Chris Mayhew. That's his first. That is the 3rd on the team.
Getting back to that possession before the Bailey jump shot for the Raiders, Coach Levins pointed out they wanted to be patient offensively, make the Patriots work on defense, and at least a minute went off the game clock before Rutland put the ball up. A big 3-pointer by Jake Eaton, his second of the first quarter, so they're definitely sticking to their game plan.
Travis Muckle is checking. I believe it's Muckle. I had a 40 here, but I got 41 there. Lucia from the left sideline for 3. It is no good. We got a whistle and a foul in the rebounding action. I want to double check with the bench there. I have Muckle at number 40 and might be number 41 who checked in. That foul is against Mount Anthony. It's on Cross. That's his first, and that is the second on the team. Muckle checked in for Wolf. Here's Boynton with it, left side of the lane. Boynton drives. His runner is good. It's going to count, and he got fouled. Strong move to the bucket for Aaron Boynton, and he's got an opportunity for a three-point play. And the foul is on Jeff Galley. That is his first, and that is the third on the team.
41 is Muckle.
It is Muckle, okay. We just checked in a few moments ago. We got a timeout. 14-6. The Raiders have the 8-point lead. 2:53 left first quarter. Timeout, Mount Anthony. When we come back, Aaron Boynton will have an opportunity for a three-point play. And 9-point lead with 2:53 left in the first quarter.
And once again, we're seeing how dangerous Aaron Boynton is when he gets his hands on the ball around the basket, using the long arms just to extend above his head and lay it in. And that's what makes him tough. It's really hard to block his shot because his arms are so long. In fact, I was told it takes him 20 seconds to do a push-up. His arms are so long. Another long arm analogy.
His shot is no good off the back of the rim. The rebound is controlled by Muckle, who's the guy that just checked in a few moments ago for the Patriots. Got it to Harpin. So the Raiders have the 15-6 lead. With it now is Lucia, and Lucia's traveling. Stutter stepped on Duval and whistled down for traveling.
He ran into a cross check from David Cross, and might have gotten some teeth jarred loose. That was a vicious shot. Boynton's okay.
Chris Mayhew in the forecourt, right sideline for Rutland High. Chris Mayhew sends it out to Eaton, dribbles right to left on the bounce to Duval. Down the left sideline to Aaron Bailey now. Picked up by Cross off the man-to-man. Out to Aaron Boynton on the right to Duval. Right side of the circle. Picked up by Muckle on the cut to Mayhew, and Mayhew's traveling. It'll be Mount Anthony's basketball in the backcourt.
And there you see, I saw Coach Kinsman saying, nice job, Chris. Just be patient. Let the defense work a little bit more, and that shot will be there.
Some full court pressure by the Raiders as Mayhew picks up Harpin. Harpin dribbles into the forecourt on the left to Lucia. Now to Galley down low at the left baseline. Back to Harpin. Now to Muckle near the right sideline. Picked up by Eaton. Now to Galley. Dribbles into the lane. Lost the handle. Steal by Mayhew. Here he comes. Mayhew down the middle. Loops it for Eaton left baseline. He'll start it over again. Then spin and fire up. It's no good. Rebound controlled by Lucia. Lucia sends it ahead to Muckle into the forecourt down the left sideline for the Patriots. Muckle sends a cross court on the right to Harpin. Down low to Cross. Right baseline. Drives. Lays it up. No good. Cross's own rebound. Back up and good off the glass. Cross kept it alive. It's 15-8. Rutland High. Here's Eaton on the left. Eaton on the cut to Boynton. We got a foul on Galley. Second on Galley. Then it's the fourth on the team. A couple of changes coming up for Dave Fredrickson's Patriots now. As into the ball game is Charles Morrison. Lucia's out, Galley's out. Also into the ball game is Robert Bergman. Bailey's out, Dave Paller in for Rutland High. Boynton's out. Let's see, John Lind is also into the ball game for Rutland High. And it is Rutland's basketball as Mayhew tries to put the ball into play. The ball is kicked out of bounds, so he'll try it again.
You watch that play, on that last play, Dave Paller set 3 screens and then opened to the basket. The Patriot kicked it away at the last second.
Duval with it, left sideline now. Duval down low to Lynn, spins, dribbles once, triple team. Back out to Duval to Mayhew. Into the lane, we got a whistle and a traveling violation against Rutland High. Against Mayhew, so it'll be Mount Anthony's basketball in the backcourt.
Once again, Coach Kinsman telling Chris Mayhew just to relax, slow down, try not to force the issue, just be a little bit more patient on offense.
Minute 20 left in the first quarter. It's Rutland 15, Mount Anthony 8. Is down low with it is Cross. He drives and lays it up. No good. He was traveling as he went down the baseline.
So far, everybody's on vacation. They're all traveling right now in this first quarter.
It's Chris Mayhew along with Dave Paller, John Lynn, Joe Duval, and Jake Eaton for Rutland High right now. With it is Lynn near the right sideline, and it was knocked away. Steal by Harpin down to Cross, and he beats the pack and lays it in. Lynn lost the handle right side of the circle, actually, and Harpin with a steal, and Cross finished it off. 15-10. The Raiders have a 5-point lead now. 50 seconds left in the first quarter. Duval top of the circle. Duval to the left side of the lane, looks around, gets it to Eaton left sideline. Sends it out now to Mayhew out near midcourt. Raiders spread it out just a bit. Mayhew picked up by Harpin as both teams in the man-to-man as he dribbles to the left, gets it to Eaton, dribbles to the key on the bounce right side to Duval. Head fakes, goes to Paller near the right sideline, back to Duval. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Now Eaton with it left sideline. Dribbles toward the middle on the bounce now to Mayhew into the lane. His 14-footer around the rim and in. Soft touch, Chris Mayhew. He got the bucket, 17-10. The Raiders have a 7-point lead. 18 seconds left first quarter as Harpin dribbles into the forecourt down the right sideline. Harpin gets it to Morrison. Morrison's pass picked off by Duval. Duval up to Mayhew into the forecourt. Mayhew right to left, 5 seconds left in the quarter. To Eaton, left sideline. Eaton to the left baseline, trying to feed it underneath, and Healey tried to go up with it on the reverse layup. It was blocked as time expires, ending the first quarter. So the first quarter is over here at the Keefe Gym, and the Raiders, with a good first quarter of play, lead it by 7 after one our score. Rutland 17, Mount Anthony 10. We'll be back after this 30-second break. Travis Muckle. Robert Bergman is in. And let's see, did we get everybody? We'll get to both teams here when we have an opportunity. As it's Raiders basketball. Mayhew with it, left side of the circle. Conway back in for Rutland High, right side of the circle. Bailey's back in. Dribbles into the key now to Eaton, across the key. Dribbles to the left, back to the right now. Backs it up top of the circle. On the bounce down the right sideline to Conway. Conway down the right baseline. Double teamed out to Boynton. Head fakes right side of the lane. On the bounce to Mayhew. Dribbles right to left into the lane. Short jumper off the back of the rim. No good. Rebound fought for. It goes to Boynton. Back up and good. And Boynton kept it alive, got the offensive rebound for the bucket, and Rutland goes up by 9, 19-10. Steve Potvin is the other person that's in for Mount Anthony. He just checked in. Here's Harpin as he drives and lays it in. Derek Harpin, the 5'7" sophomore, strong to the bucket there, and it's Rutland 19, Mount Anthony 12. So Potvin checked in for Mount Anthony at the tail end of the first quarter. The Raiders going with Mayhew and Boynton with it down low. Right side of the lane. His turnaround is good from the baseline. 8 points already in this first half for Aaron Boynton. 21-12. The Raiders up by 9. It's Mayhew, Eaton, Conway, Boynton, and we'll get to that in just a moment as the long jumper by Muckle is no good. Raiders come down with a rebound, and Mayhew with it into the forecourt down the right sideline. Mayhew looking inside. Mayhew on the bounce to Boynton. Drives the lane, lays it up, no good. Rebound fought for. Boynton runs it down back to Mayhew.
Being patient once again, going back into their offensive set off the offensive rebound.
Mayhew dribbles to the left. Mayhew, Bailey, Conway, Eaton, and Boynton. Finally got the alignment in there for Rutland High here at the beginning of the second quarter. With it, right sideline is Bailey. Down low to Mayhew. Spins, lays it up, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Robert Bergman of the Patriots. Now Harpin with it. Harpin dribbles to the left side of the lane. Gets it to Morrison. Morrison sends it back out to Bergman in the lane. His jumper is good. It went around the rim and in. Robert Bergman with a soft touch. And it's 21-14. It is a 7-point Raider lead. 5:55 left first half. With it in the forecourt, Chris Mayhew between the sideline and the middle. Down low to Bailey. Ducks underneath, lays it up and in, but it won't count. We get a foul before the shot against Mount Anthony. Is back in Cross. Wolf is going to check back in for Mount Anthony here. And also, Lucia checks back in, and Scott Muir checks in for Mount Anthony. And out is Bailey for the Raiders. It'll be the Raiders basketball. We'll get to that foul here in just a moment. Comes in at Duval now to Conway, left side of the circle. Up for three, in and out, no good. John Lynn lost it on the rebound as Lucia came down with it. Sent it ahead to Robert Bergman. Bergman was the only one that stayed in during that 4-for-4 substitution for Mount Anthony. Here's Lucia. Sending it now to Wolf, left baseline. His 15-footers no good. John Lynn comes down with the rebound. Lynn is in now with Mayhew, Boynton, Duval, and Conway for the Raiders. Lynn goes to the right sideline to Conway. Down low, wanted to go to Boynton. The ball knocked away, and let's see, it went out of bounds. It was knocked away by Bergman. Nice hustle, but it went out of bounds, apparently off Bergman. It'll be Raiders basketball. That foul before against Mount Anthony was on Steve Potvin, and that was the 5th on the team. The 1st on Potvin, 5th on the team. As the Raiders control, Conway with it near the left corner. Sends it out to John Lynn, left side of the circle to Duval. To the right sideline now to Mayhew. Mayhew on the cut to Boynton, right side of the lane. Lines it up, fires and hits. Aaron Boynton on the bucket as the Raiders lead it by 9. It's Rutland 23, Mount Anthony 14.
And Boynton with 10 of those 23 Raider points.
Here's Lucia, right side of the lane, gets it out to Wolf. To the right side of the lane, he stops. He sends it out to Muir. Muir, left side of the lane. Try to force it inside. Steal by John Lind. Lind on the steal, sends it ahead now to Mayhew. Mayhew dribbles right to left. No look pass to Boynton at the baseline. Short jumper, good. Pretty play, great no-look pass by Mayhew, and Boynton got the roll from the right baseline as the Raiders lead at 25-14. They have an 11-point lead, their biggest lead of the ball game.
Another example of Mayhew's ability to penetrate, draw the defense, and leave it off for Boynton for 2 more points.
Muir sends it out to Lucia. Lucia is traveling. There's another one. No doubt on that one as Aaron Corbino checks in for Rutland High for Chris Mayhew. And out of the ball game is Morrison, and in is Jeff Galley for Mount Anthony. So it's Corbino, Boynton, Conway, Duval, and Lynn right now for Rutland High, and Aaron Corbino with the basketball. Dribbles to the left toward the left sideline. On the bounce down low to Lynn, spins and lays it in. From the left baseline, John Lynn got it down low, and the Raiders have opened up a 13-point lead. Rutland 27, Mount Anthony 14. 4 minutes left first half. With it now is Galley, dribbles into the lane, ducks underneath, wild shot, no good. We're going to whistle on a foul before the shot against Rutland High.
It's on Boynton. That's
it is
first.
On Boynton. Yeah, first on Boynton, and that is the fourth on the team.
Assistant Coach Levins told me before the game they wanted to be patient and execute. So far, they've had 3 possessions where they've been patient. That last one was great execution. Lind on the away screen for the easy layup.
Derek Harpin is in. Now to Wolf, left corner, up for 3. It's an air ball, comes down to Lucia, right baseline. Is fade away, around the rim and in. Derek Harpin back in for Mount Anthony. It's 27-16. The Raiders lead it by 11. As with it is Boynton to the right sideline to Conway. Conway on the alley-oop to Lynn underneath. Beats his man and lays it in. That, too, a pretty play. Great pass from Conway. Got Lind underneath, and he laid it in easily. Raiders lead it 29-16. Harpin sends it to Lucia now to cross right side of the lane. Back to Lucia right side. A 17-footer, no good off the back of the rim. Rebound tap to Conway. Conway starts the break into the forecourt. 3:15 left in the first half. On the left to Aaron Boynton, left side of the circle to the left sideline to Joe Duval. Back out now to Conway. Conway now to Aaron Corbino. Dribbles once and sends it out to the left wing to Lind. Head fakes. Goes to Duval, right side of the circle. 17-footer off the rim, no good. Rebound is pulled down by Galley. Galley gets it to Derek Harpin. Harpin ahead to Lucia. Now to Wolf. Cross court to Galley. Stops at the baseline. Shot blocked out of bounds by Boynton. They try to keep it alive. It goes out of bounds. Off the Raiders. It's Mount Anthony's basketball.
The long arm of the law once again. Aaron Boynton with a big block down low on what could have been an easy layup for the Patriots.
And Dave Paller in, Boynton out after that great block at the baseline as Boynton gets a breather. As the pass comes in now to Lucia near the right sideline. Pass came in from Wolf. On the cut to cross, right side of the lane. Spins, his 12-footer's good. Rutland 29, Mount Anthony 18. 2:37 left first half. Aaron Corbino trots into the forecourt down the right sideline. Sends it out front to Conway. Here's 3, good. Top of the circle, Jake Conway. And the Raiders go up 32-18. They have a 14-point lead. Dave Fredrickson with a timeout. 2:24 left first half. We'll be back after this 30-second break.
For the best names and cameras and more, visit Wilson Country Camera in downtown Rutland.
For Rutland 32, Mount Anthony 18. Tonight's game, tape for broadcast at a later time on Channel 15. Brian Mayhew is our cameraman. He's giving us signals. I have no idea what he's talking about over there.
Maybe he wants some of your soda. But I tell you, Coach Levins really was serious when he mentioned this to me tonight. Patience and execution. The 2 times that I recall that they were extremely patient on offense, they had 2 big shots come out of that. A 3-pointer by Eaton and a layup by Mayhew. And that last 3-pointer by Conway, it was a result of good execution.
Play back in. Duval knocks the ball out of bounds. Mount Anthony's possession. Bergman is back in for Mount Anthony. He's in for David Cross.
Things are just clicking right now for the Raiders, execution-wise, and they're hitting the open jump shot.
Ball from the baseline. Try to go into Derek Harpin. By him and out of bounds. Rutland's basketball as Chris Mayhew's back in. Paller in. Jake Eaton back in. John Lind in there right now for Rutland High. Also in there, remaining in there, is Joe Duval as the Raiders control Mayhew into the forecourt on Harpin. Coming down on 2 minutes left in the half. On the left to Lynn, left side of the lane, out of the left sideline. It goes to Duval. Duval cross court to Paller, halfway between the circles. Paller on the left wing to Jake Eaton. Eaton stops and goes on the right side of the circle to Duval. His 3 is no good. Rebound underneath. Back up, no good by Eaton. And the rebound is finally controlled by Lucia. I believe that was Eaton on the rebound on the other side. It was blocked. Harpin with it to the right sideline to Wolf. Wolf down the right baseline. Try to go inside. The ball tapped right out into the lane to Galley, and a short jumper's good. Well, the Raiders lead it by 12, 32-20. A minute 25 left in the first half here at the Keefe Gym. With it now is Mayhew, right sideline, on Harpin in the forecourt for Rutland High. Mayhew looks around, sends it out around the horn. Duval to Eaton, out to Lynn near the left baseline, out to Paller at the free throw line. He fires, it's no good. Rebound chased down by Mayhew out near midcourt. 1:05 left in the half. Mayhew on Harpin, dribbles into the lane and stops, brings it back out to Lynn, left wing, to the right wing to Duval. Duval dribbles right to left, chased out front by Lucia, gets it to Mayhew. 54 seconds left in the half. Mayhew at the midcourt circle, dribbles to the right, back to the left against Harpin, dribbles toward the left wing, toward the left sideline and stops. Directs the attack, sends it out to Eaton out front, halfway between the circles, chased by Wolf on the bounce, right side to Lynn. Lynn now on the bounce to Duval, right side of the circle, now to Eaton. 35 seconds left in the half. Eaton out near midcourt, and he's traveling. It'll be Mount Anthony's basketball. His cross comes in, and also into the ball game, Travis Muckle for Mount Anthony. And they check in for Wolf and also Galley.
Even though Rutland did not get a look at the basket that time, they took off another minute off the game clock, and that's a minute that Mount Anthony had to play tough man-to-man defense, and that's going to wear them down later on in this contest.
Here's Harpin into the forecourt. He goes on the right to Muckle. Muckle tried to send it inside to Bergman. The ball knocked away by Paller into the backcourt. Harpin dribbles back into the forecourt for Mount Anthony, right sideline. Harpin down low, wanted to go to cross, knocked away by Lynn. Coming back to cross from the right baseline. His jumper's no good. Rebound is back up, no good by Bergman, but we got a foul against the Raiders. Robert Bergman will be at the line for two in the active shooting. 13 seconds left in the first half. The foul would be
number 1 on Paller.
And the 5th on the team.
Tell you what, if this performance keeps up for the Raiders, the only positive to Dave Frederickson, the coach from Mount Anthony, the only positive to come out of his trip up Route 7 North would be he'd get to go to Gills again.
That's right.
I tell you, that's one of the things he looks forward to when he comes into Rutland, and usually it's a celebration sub from Gills. Tonight, if this keeps up, it could be washed down a little bit differently.
Bergman misses the first. He's got another one coming. Steve Potvin checking in for Mount Anthony for Cross for the final 13. And foul on the Raiders, by the way, was the 15th foul. Again, first on Paller. As Bergman's second shot is good. 32-21, the Raiders by 11. 10 seconds left in the half. Paller with it in the backcourt. Gets it up to Lynn. Full court pressure. Throws it in the forecourt to Duval. Back out to Mayhew. 3 seconds left. To the left sideline to Eaton. Lines it up for 3 at the buzzer. He hits! Jake Eaton at the buzzer for 3. And he's got 3 3-pointers in this ball game. The 3-pointer. We'll get to the alignment for both teams when we have an opportunity. Derek Harpin with it, picked up by Jake Eaton. Sends it to Lucia, right sideline. Up top to Cross at the free throw line. To the left to Galley. Back to Wolf around the horn. Harpin to Lucia. Lucia to the right side of the lane. Back now to Galley. He head fakes and he's traveling. Looked like the Raiders were set up in the 2-3 zone at the beginning here of the second half after using the man-to-man in the first half. And again,
another
traveling violation. The Raiders going with Chris Mayhew, Aaron Bailey, Jake Conway, Aaron Boynton, and Jake Eaton. Harpin, Lucia, Cross, Galley, and Wolf for Mount Anthony as the Raiders throw the ball away. It's Mount Anthony's basketball. The 14-point lead that the Raiders have right now has matched their biggest lead of the ball game. Some full court pressure by the Raiders. Wolf with it in the backcourt for Mount Anthony, and the Raiders relent now as Wolf dribbles into the forecourt, down the right sideline. He goes to Galley, throws up the bomb. It's no good. Wolf the rebound, and then lost it to Eaton. Eaton starts the 3-on-2 break down the middle on the bounce to Boynton. He lays it in. Pretty play. Eaton went right down the middle, found Boynton, and Boynton laid it in. And the Raiders go up by 16. Rutland 37, Mount Anthony 21. Early going third quarter. Harpin down the right sideline to Lucia. Dribbles right to left, back to Harpin. Had to chase it down out front. Dribbles left to right on Mayhew. Now Bailey picks him up, throws up the runner in the lane. Rebound, it was no good. Rebound to Lucia back up, but we got a whistle and a foul before that second shot. They call it on Bailey.
It's his first.
Foul on Aaron Bailey, first on him, first on the team. It'll be Mount Anthony's basketball from the baseline. Wolf puts the ball into play, right wing to Lucia to the right baseline. His runner's good.
10 points now for Chris Lucia for Mount Anthony.
Rutland 37, Mount Anthony 23. Eaton with it, right sideline. On the cut to the right baseline to Boynton. Gets shut off. Back to Eaton for 3. No good off the back of the rim. Rebound to Wolf of Mount Anthony. Passed it back, and it's intercepted by Boynton at the right baseline. He shot an air ball. Conway tried to save it, but it's picked off by Wolf. Now Harpin with it. Derek Harpin into the forecourt, the sophomore on Mayhew. Sends it to the right sideline to Galley, back to Wolf, right sideline, along the sideline, cross-court to Harpin, to the left sideline, back to Galley. Dribbles into the lane, dumps it off now for Cross, head fakes into the lane. Wild shot is good. He went left to right, just kind of flicked it up there and hit. 37-25, the Raiders by 12. Mayhew with it, right sideline, picked up by Harpin off the man-to-man. On the bounce, wanted to go inside to Bailey, and it's picked off by Galley to Harpin on the bounce to Lucia. Lucia dribbles into the lane, fade away in the lane, no good off the glass, rebound to Eaton. Outlet to Conway, into the forecourt. Conway left to right to the left side of the lane. We got a foul against Mount Anthony. I believe it's on Harpin. If it is, it's number 2. And that's number 1, or let's see, number 2 on Mount Anthony here in the half.
It's number 1.
Oh, it's number 1, I'm sorry.
Complete different look here offensively for the Raiders in this second half. Their first half, very deliberate, executing, being very patient. It seems like they're trying to pick the pace up offensively here to start this second half.
Both teams have a foul apiece here, team-wise, in the second half. Raiders basketball. The pass intended for Boynton, knocked away by Cross, picked off by Harpin. Throws it into the forecourt for Cross, and it's restolen by Bailey. It went off Cross. Bailey stole it. And now with it is Chris Mayhew as he dribbles up court slowly for Rutland High and dribbles into the forecourt down the middle. Dribbles to the left now on Harpin. Dribbles to the left wing. Stops the dribble on the bounce down low to Boynton. Spins in the lane. Lays it up and in. Rutland 39, Mount Anthony 25. Here's Lucia to the left baseline. Short jumper's good. Lucia loves that baseline jumper. Rutland 39, Mount Anthony 27. Left sideline, Eaton with it, dribbles to the left baseline. He drives baseline, shot blocked by Dave Cross. We're going to foul on Cross. Eaton will be at the line for 2 in the active shooting. And foul on Cross is his second. That's the second on the team. As Joe Duval checks in for Jake Conway for Rutland High. Eaton will be at the line.
Well, the first half of this game could have been played at Logan Airport as everyone was traveling. And early on in this second half, it's the all-bakery game as it's filled with turnovers here. 3 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Jake Eaton hits the first. He'll get another as the Raiders go up by 13. Rutland 40, Mount Anthony 27. 5:01 left in the third quarter here at the Keep. Jim Eaton's second shot's good. Jake gets them both, and the Raiders now go up by a score. Is that score correct? I don't. On the cut, it goes to Lucia into the lane. 41-27. Lucia shot an air ball, comes down to Eaton. 41-27. The Raiders are up by 14. Joe Duval cross-court now to Bailey, around the horn to Mayhew, right sideline. Out to Eaton. Eaton now to Duval, left side of the circle. 4:09 left third quarter. Duval on the right goes to Eaton, right sideline. Back to Duval between the sideline and the key. Now to Mayhew, left side of the circle. Back to the left sideline to Aaron Boynton. Boynton back to Bailey, left side of the circle on the right to Mayhew between the sideline and the key. Now to Eaton in the key. 17-footer's good. Is it going to count? We're going to whistle on a foul away from the basketball.
The basket should count. It will be a foul against Rutland.
The basket does count. The Raiders go up 43-27. The foul is against Rutland.
It's on Joe Duval, away from the basketball. The ball had already been shot by Eaton, and it was good.
First on Duval, second on the team. It's Mount Anthony's basketball, and we got a foul against the Raiders. I believe it's on Mayhew as he picks up his second foul, and that's the third on the team.
And again, Rutland offensively going very patient and deliberate into their flex offense. They'll either get a layup down low or a jump shot from the wing, and that's where Eaton got another basket right from the wing off that offensive set.
Pass comes in to Harpin. He lost it and picked off by Bailey. Got it to Duval, now to Mayhew. Mayhew into the forecourt to Eaton, down low to Bailey, left side of the lane, back to Eaton, left sideline. Back out front to Boynton on the right, to Joe Duval near the right sideline. Gets it to Eaton between the sideline and the key. Now to Mayhew to the left baseline to Boynton. His 17-footer's good. Raiders go up by 18. Rutland's biggest lead of the ball game. Rutland 45, Mount Anthony 27.
I tell you, Coach Fredrickson has to cringe every time Boynton does that, realizing that he grew up in Bennington, could actually be on his ball club instead of playing against him.
With it is Wolf for Mount Anthony. On the right to Harpin, down the right baseline, throws it up, no good. We'll get a foul on Mayhew. And Harpin will be at the line for 2 in the active shooting. Derek Harpin, a 5'7" sophomore. Foul on Chris Mayhew's number 3. That's the 4th on the team. And Jake Conway and John Lynn check in for Rutland High for Aaron Bailey and Jake Eaton. 3:40 left third quarter. Rutland 45, Mount Anthony 27. The Raiders enjoying an 18-point lead. And they led 17-10 after a quarter. Outscored Mount Anthony 18-11 in the second quarter. And they've controlled throughout as Harpin hits the first. The sophomore will get another. It's Rutland 45, Mount Anthony 28.
This will be the 4th free throw attempt for Mount Anthony in the game. Rutland has only attempted 3, so both teams playing sound defense here this evening.
Harpin's second shot around the rim and in gets them both. It is Rutland 45, Mount Anthony 29. Mayhew throws it into the forecourt in the pass. Intercepted nicely by Galley. Galley got it down court, intended for Cross, knocked out of bounds by Boynton, and it went off Cross. It'll be Rutland's basketball. By the way, Wolf is out. Into the ball game is Travis Muckle from Mount Anthony, checking in just a few moments ago. That was a nice play by Boynton at the other end.
The long arm of the law.
Mayhew dribbles toward the left baseline. Down the baseline, lays it up. No good. Rebound across, spins around, looks, and sends it to Harpin. Harpin throws into the forecourt for Muckle to the right baseline. Pulls up for the jumper. No go. Boynton the rebound. Outlet to Joe Duval. Joe screams into the forecourt. Went right by Lucia. Pulls up right side. Got a timeout, Rutland. Dave Kinsman with a timeout. The Raiders first. And we have 3:03 left, third quarter. Our score, Rutland 45, Mount Anthony 29. The Raiders in control. We'll be back after this 30-second ballpark here.
Yes, it is. He was on Jay Leno last night. Tonight he's at the Keefe Gym.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah.
We'll see if you can catch him, Jack.
I don't think
Find out how hard it is to do it on the NFL field. Now, by the way, the streak has begun. Jack mentioned the Cowboys one consecutive game.
Well, I thought I'd throw you a phone after they won the Super Bowl. What the heck?
Although there's those that hate the Cowboys that will say that Pittsburgh lost it, I disagree. They had opportunities to do it. Dallas was just simply the better ball club. So take that.
Well, I agree. They are the better ball club. No doubt about that. Rutland's basketball. Duval top of the circle for 3, and he hits. Joe Duval, a 3 from the top of the circle. And the Raiders go up 48-29. 2:52 left, third quarter. Lucia down the sideline. Got it to Galley now to Cross, left side of the lane. Cross into the lane. Sends it out to Harpin. Now down low to Galley. Spins, short jumper's good off the glass.
Galley turned and was 5 feet from the basket. There was nobody there defensively for Rutland. He just kissed it off the window and in.
Rutland 48, Mount Anthony 31. The Raiders have it in the forecourt. Boynton out near midcourt, picked up by Cross. Gets it on the cut to Duval. Duval's traveling. We've had 9 or 10 of those in the ball game tonight.
After that timeout for Rutland, Coach Kinsman set up a play to get the three-point shot for Duval, who is having a little bit of confidence problems with his outside shot. Definitely nailed that one. Hopefully that'll get him back into his groove from the perimeter.
With it, right sideline is Muckle. Muckle down low to Cross. Spins in the lane. Lost the handle. Picks it up again. Left baseline. Fadeaway is good off the glass. Raiders are pretty well held Cross down in this game tonight. He's one of the leading scorers in the league. He gets the bucket there. He's got 10 points, however. 48-33. Raiders were the leaders. Boynton, his baseline jumper's no good. We get a foul in the rebounding action. He's got 10 points, but he averages over 20 points per ball game. Dave Cross. The foul is against Mount Anthony.
It's on Muckle. That's his first.
And that is the third on the team. Out is Lucia. Into the ball game is Charles Morrison for the Patriots. It's Rutland's basketball from the baseline. Pass comes into Conway, left corner for 3. No good off the rim. Galley the rebound for Mount Anthony. Galley, Harpin, Morrison, Cross, and Muckle in there right now for the Patriots. Muckle with it, right sideline for 3. Bang. Rutland 48, Mount Anthony 36. A 12-point Raider lead. 1:40 left, third quarter. Mayhew into the lane, gets it to Boynton, head fakes. Back out to Mayhew, left side of the circle, chased by Harpin. Mayhew stops the dribble, sends it out to Duval, top of the circle. Duval on the bounce, on the cut to Boynton, goes down the lane and lays it in. How many times have we seen Aaron Boynton do that very same play?
At least 4. At least 4 in this third quarter. He's got 8 points already.
Raiders lead at 50-36. Cross head fakes at the free throw line, goes down the lane, lays it up, no good. We got a foul on Jake Conway.
That's on Conway. That'll be 3.
Yeah, 3 on Conway. Cross will be at the line for 2 unless they call that before the shot.
Yeah, before the shot.
The foul on the Raiders is number 5. As into the ball game is Robert Bergman for Mount Anthony for Cross. Aaron Bailey checks back in for Rutland, and John Lynn checks out. The Mount Anthony's basketball from the baseline. Jake Eaton is out. Chris is into the ball game, and Chris Mayhew gets a breather for Rutland High. Raiders lead it by 14, 50-36. Mount Anthony's basketball, right sideline. Muckle for 3. Bang. That's 2 in a row for Travis Muckle from three-point land, and Eaton is traveling.
This is a dangerous stretch here for the Raiders now. Muckle's starting to heat up on the perimeter. That'll open things up inside for Cross and Galley. If he can hit another one here, we got ourselves another ball game.
50-39 now off that Muckle three-pointer, the second one. The Raiders have an 11-point lead. Here's Galley left wing. His 17-footer, no go. Rebound tapped out. It goes right to Aaron Boynton. Now with it is Eaton. 58 seconds left third quarter. Jake Eaton picked up by Harpin as he dribbles down the right sideline in the forecourt. Stops the dribble looking inside. Jake Eaton still looking. Underneath wanted to go to Bailey. Galley back to steal for Mount Anthony. They can cut it to single digits here. Galley coast to coast lays it up. No good. Too hard off the glass. Bailey the rebound.
That had something to do with Aaron Boynton being right there too. He altered the shot.
It is Eaton, Bailey, Boynton, Conway, and Duval right now for the Raiders. As with it left sideline off the pass from Bailey is Joe Duval. 25 seconds left third quarter. Round the horn, Conway to Eaton to Bailey right sideline. Picked up by Galley. Sends it out front to Aaron Boynton. On the left wing to Jake Eaton. Back to the top of the circle now to Duval. Halfway between the circles as he dribbles to the right. Stops the dribble out to Eaton. 12 seconds left third quarter. And we got a foul on Harpin. Harpin's third, and that's the fourth on Mount Anthony. 10 seconds left third quarter, Rutland's basketball. Raiders have led unofficially by as many as 18. The Raiders lead it by 11 now. As Eaton has it in the backcourt, 7 seconds left third quarter. Eaton into the forecourt. Eaton to the key to the line to the lane. To the left corner now to Conway. His three is no good, and that's the end of the third quarter. We played three here at the Keefe Gym. After three, our score, Rutland High 50, Mount Anthony 39. Back with the fourth quarter after this timeout. The 8 o'clock game. Last week we reported it was 7. They've changed the time. An 8 o'clock game will be on the air tomorrow night, 7:50. Hockey from Royce Mandigo, Rutland High, and Middlebury. Friday night boys basketball will be back here at the Keefe Gym. 7:20 broadcast time. Rutland High hosting the Hartford Hurricanes. We're underway in the fourth quarter. Rutland's basketball. Mayhew back in. He controls on Harpin. Mayhew dribbles to the left sideline. Mayhew stops the dribble, looks inside, looking, loops it out front now to Conway near the midcourt circle. Back to Duval left wing, wanted to go to Boynton and over to steal. Robert Bergman from Mount Anthony goes coast to coast, lays it up, around the rim and in. It's going to count. He got fouled. Mount Anthony has cut the Raider lead to 9. The foul is on Mayhew, and that's 4 on Mayhew, and that is number 6 on the team. It is Rutland 50, Mount Anthony 41. Mount Anthony outscored the Raiders 18-15, by the way, in the third quarter. Bergman opportunity for a three-point play, and he hits the free throw to complete the three-point play as Jake Eaton comes in for Chris Mayhew for Rutland High. It is now Rutland 50, Mount Anthony 42. Mount Anthony has cut the Raider lead to 8. Some full court Mount Anthony pressure. Duval breaks it to Eaton in the forecourt down the left sideline. Going to work on Harpin. We've got a foul on Derek Harpin. That's 4 on the Mount Anthony sophomore, and that is 5 on the team. The next foul on the Raiders will send Mount Anthony to the line. The Patriots have 4. Harpin is out. Into the ball game is Scott Muir for Mount Anthony. He also is a sophomore. He's a 5'10 sophomore, Scott Muir.
Both floor generals for Rutland and Mount Anthony now go to the bench with 4 fouls, 7:34 left in this contest, and this is the time where both are needed as the teams have picked up the pace defensively, putting full court pressure on.
The Raiders going with Eaton, Conway, Boynton, Bailey, and Duval here at the beginning of the fourth quarter, and Eaton's pass knocked away, but Jake Eaton gets it back near the midcourt circle. Eaton picked up by Muir, who just checked in for Harpin. Eaton to the key on the right now to Aaron Boynton to the right side of the lane, goes into the lane, lost the handle. Galley on the steal, throws it ahead now to Muckle. Muckle drives, lays it up and in, went left to right.
8 points in this second half for Muckle, 6 of those on 2 big three-pointers when Mount Anthony started this run back in the third quarter.
It's Rutland 50, Mount Anthony 44. Mount Anthony has cut the Raider lead to 6. 6:58 left here in the ball game. Down low to Boynton, he lays it in. Got the pass from Jake Eaton. Big bucket for Aaron Boynton. The Raiders lead it by 8, 52-44. With it is Morrison. Charles Morrison left sideline, and I believe he lost it on the sideline. It will be Rutland's basketball.
Stepped on the sideline. Good man-to-man pressure on the perimeter by Joe Duval. Forced him to step on the sideline, and a big turnover now for the Raiders, looking to go up by 10.
6:38 left here in the ball game. The Raiders, who have been in control, Mount Anthony putting on some pressure here in the early going fourth quarter. Eaton right sideline, loops it out to Conway, top of the circle. On the left to Aaron Bailey. Along the left sideline. Picked up by Galley off the man-to-man. Gets it to Eaton between the sideline and the key. Lost the handle. Picked it up again as he goes to his backside. Saved it to Boynton down the left sideline. Back to Eaton. Back out front to Duval near the midcourt circle. Duval now going to work on Morrison as he gets it to Bailey, top of the circle on the right to Aaron Boynton. Raiders very deliberate, very patient to Duval. Now to Conway, right side of the circle. 18-footer around the rim, no good. Galley the rebound for Mount Anthony.
Good patience. They got a good look. Conway unable to knock down the 15-footer.
Scott Muir with it for Mount Anthony down the right sideline. He stops now to Morrison into the lane, ducks underneath and lays it in. Charles Morrison. It's 52-46. The Raiders lead it by 6. Jake Eaton into the forecourt, going to work on Muir. Dribbles right to left, sends it to the left sideline for Conway, and he lost it out of bounds. It'll be Mount Anthony's basketball. John Lynn checks in for Rutland High. Dave Kinsman wants a timeout. Second timeout for the Raiders. 5:38 left in the ball game. Our score: Rutland 52, Mount Anthony. Galley is in. Muir, Morrison, and Muckle for the Mount Anthony Patriots.
A 7-2 run right now for Mount Anthony, and the difference being, this is a horn. I don't know what the horn was all about. Mount Anthony's getting layups. Rutland is settling for jump shots.
With it is Galley left side as Mount Anthony has the basketball. Out to Bergman. Bergman dribbles right to left. 3-second violation against Mount Anthony. Huge turnover there. The Raiders are going now with Duval, Boynton, Eaton, John Lind, and Jake Conway. Actually, I guess when Lind checked in, it was Bailey who checked out.
With the exception of Aaron Boynton, everybody else for Rutland is relying on perimeter shots right now. They have to start taking it aggressively to the basket.
Boynton has it left side of the circle. We got a steal by Bergman. Bergman all the way to the bucket, lays it up. No good. We got a foul on Boynton. He got up there to block the shot. But the foul on Boynton is number 2. And that puts the Raiders over the limit. That is the 17th foul on the Raiders. And, however, this is a shooting foul. But that was quite a play. I'll tell you, that's one of those, that was a good foul type of foul.
Absolutely, because he's going to make him earn these 2 points from the free throw line. And that's the second time this ball game in this fourth quarter we've seen Bergman with a steal and take it the length of the floor.
Bergman hits the first, and he has another one coming as the Raiders now lead it 52-47. Mount Anthony has it as close now as they've had in a long time. And the second shot is good by Bergman, hits them both. It is now Rutland 52, Mount Anthony 48. Mount Anthony is trailed by 18, now trailing by 4. Conway has the ball stolen away. On the steal is Muir. Muir in the forecourt for Mount Anthony. Backs it toward the right baseline, gets it out to Muckle, and his pass stolen away by Boynton.
Read beautifully by Aaron Boynton. Saw the pass coming all the way and picked it off.
Larry Brown. Forecourt now. 4:50 left here in the basketball game at the Keefe Gym. Eaton into the forecourt, gets it to Lynn, goes baseline and lays it in. Big bucket there as the Raiders go up 54-48, a 6-point lead, 4:37 left in the ball game. With it left wing, it is Morrison near the left sideline, dribbles to the middle, pulls up, goes now to Muir, Muir toward the right baseline. He goes to Bergman, right side of the lane, his 15-footers, an air ball. They try to save it, Galley does. Nice play by Galley, who saved it off Duval.
Right now in this stage in the game, 4:24 left, Mount Anthony is simply outworking Rutland on both ends of the court. Getting back to that play, good penetration by Eaton and a nice dish off to Lynn for the layup, which ended a 9-2 run to start this fourth quarter for Mount Anthony.
Muckle getting set to put the ball into play for the Patriots. 4:24 left in the ball game, as Vince mentioned. Pass comes into Bergman, right sideline out to Muir. Between the right sideline and the key. On the left, Morrison with it between the left sideline and the key. Now to Muckle for 3, no go. Rebound tapped around. We got a foul against Mount Anthony. It would be the 16th foul on the Patriots. And so on the next foul, both teams going to the line from here on in. That foul is on Robert Bergman, his first. Bergman is a sophomore. Harpin's a sophomore. Bergman a sophomore. Harpin on the bench right now. And also Muir is a sophomore. So some sophomores playing for Mount Anthony on the varsity here.
And playing well.
Eaton goes to Boynton, right baseline. His fade away, no good. Rebound, a Galley of Mount Anthony. Raiders lead it by 6, less than 4 minutes left in the ball game. Muir with it now for the Patriots. Picked up by Eaton off the man-to-man. Muir to the right baseline, gets double-teamed. Back out to Bergman to Galley. Galley's traveling. That is number 252 in the traveling department in this game tonight.
Yeah, here at Logan Airport.
And we got a timeout, Mount Anthony. 3:49 left in the ball game. Our score, Rutland High 54, Mount Anthony 48. It's the Raiders by 6. We'll be back after this 30-second break. 7:20. Then we have a girls basketball hockey doubleheader on Saturday in the afternoon. Rutland High hosting Bellows Falls in girls basketball. Be on the air at 2:20. Then at 5:30, MSJ Mount Mansfield hockey, and that will take us through the rest of the week. Mayhew in, Eaton, Aaron Boynton, Conway, and Lynn for Rutland High. It is Bergman, Muir, Muckle. Harpin is back in for Mount Anthony, and also in there is Jeff Galley.
18 turnovers for Mount Anthony in this game, 13 for Rutland, 9 in the second half, helping Mount Anthony climb back into this contest.
It's Rutland's basketball. Mayhew goes by Harpin. Harpin's got 4 fouls for Mount Anthony, the sophomore in there. Down low to Lynn, back out to Mayhew, left sideline, out front to Eaton, on the right to Conway. Conway's fouled by Travis Muckle. And that puts Mount Anthony over the limit there. Both teams are in the 1-on-1 situation. Jake Conway will be at the line for a 1-on-1 for Rutland High.
And of course, those stats courtesy of John Casarino and Mark Wambach from Castleton State College. A team, of course, that St. Joe's women beat on Saturday, but that goes without saying.
Of course, the men's game was the other way around.
Oh, yes, they drew even.
The shot by Conway is no good, and the rebound, Galley. Galley goes to Harpin. 3:28 left in the ball game. Harpin down the right sideline, off the bounce into the forecourt to Morrison. Morrison picked up by Eden. Morrison dribbles around, gets it to Galley, right side of the lane. To the right baseline now to Bergman. Forces the shot, blocked by Lind. Comes down to John Lind. What a play by John Lind. Now Mayhew with it. That's how, I'll tell you, we mentioned it so many times, you block the shot, and the bonus is that you get the basketball. Mayhew to Lind, he lays it in!
2 buckets in a row. 2 big buckets in a row for John Lind, sandwiched around a big block on the defensive end.
56-48, the Raiders with the lead, as with it down low, Bergman in the lane. His turnaround no good, and Galley with a strong rebound, gets it out to Harpin, dribbles into the lane, ducks underneath, lays it up, no good. We got a foul against Rutland High. Harpin will be at the line for 2. I believe it's on Boynton. It is on Boynton. That's number 3. That's the 8th on the team. Rutland 56, Mount Anthony 48. Well, I'll tell you, John Lynn had the big defensive play, finished it off at the other end. 2:43 left in the ball game.
Well, this quarter started with a 9-2 run for Mount Anthony. I remember Eaton drove in and dished it off to Lind, which stopped that 9-2 run. The next possession down here, a couple possessions later, actually, Lind with a big defensive block, and back at the other end, he makes a backdoor cut and finishes off, which has been a nice stretch run here for John Lind.
Harpin misses the first. He's got another one coming. His shot is good. He gets 1 out of 2. Derek Harpin. Raiders now lead it by 7, 56-49. 2:40 left in the ball game. Lynn gets it to Eaton. It goes by him and out of bounds. And it was tapped, however, out of bounds by Mount Anthony. It was deflected by the Patriots. Rutland's basketball. Mayhew, Eaton, Conway, Lind, and Boynton right now for Rutland High. With it, Mayhew gets it in on the bounce to Conway, out front to Jake Eaton. Jake gets it to Mayhew now, picked up by Harpin off the man-to-man. 2:30 left in the ball game. Raiders up by 7. Mayhew near the right sideline. Mayhew gets it now to Eaton, dribbles right to left into the key, now to Conway left wing. Conway to Boynton in the key, 17-footer, bang! And the Raiders getting some breathing room again. It's Rutland 58, Mount Anthony 49.
24 points for Aaron Boynton.
Wow. Had a big game here last year against Mount Anthony as well. Here's Galley into the lane. Galley to Morrison, right baseline, lost it, out of bounds, and it was tipped out by Jake Eaton, Mount Anthony's basketball.
You mentioned Aaron Boynton grew up in Bennington, knows a lot of these players personally. I'm wondering what he has against them, that every time he plays them here in this gym, he just destroys them.
Buckle got into Morrison to Harpin, around the horn they go. Galley with it down to the left baseline. The short jumper is good for Morrison. Morrison had it down low at the left baseline. The Raiders lead at 58-51, a 7-point Rutland lead. 1:47 left in the ball game. Lynn with it in the forecourt left wing. Sends it out to Boynton, now to Mayhew. Mayhew going to work on Harpin as he dribbles to the left near the left sideline. First Mayhew stops the dribble, brings it back out front to Conway. Conway to the right baseline to John Lind. Lind lost the handle, and he had it stolen away by Galley. Galley into the forecourt, down the middle to Bergman, back to Galley, give and go. He lays it up and in. Rutland 58, Mount Anthony 53, an immediate timeout by Mount Anthony after the bucket with 1:19 left in the ball game. So the Raiders, who just a few moments ago had some breathing room, Mount Anthony making a little run. The Raiders now is 58-54.
Club. And what a second half his ball club has played. They outscored Rutland 18-15 in the third quarter, and so far 14-8 here in the fourth quarter. And it's gut check time for Coach Kinsman's Raiders. They must deal with the pressure, slow things down, and obviously go to their workhorse inside, Aaron Boynton, already with 24 points. Put the ball back in the hands of Chris Mayhew. He's the one player they've got speaking of Rutland, that can penetrate that defense and dish it off to Boynton in a position where he can get an easy shot. Really, the only person that's attacking the basket offensively for Rutland in this second half, with the exception of 2 field goals by Lind, has been Aaron Boynton, and that's why he's got 24 points. Everybody else for Rutland has been relying on the perimeter. Give it to Mayhew, let him create, dish it inside to Boynton.
Full court Mount Anthony pressure. Raiders basketball as Bailey is back in. Conway got it up to Eaton to Mayhew as they break the Mount Anthony full court pressure. Mayhew dribbles left to right, dribbles to the right sideline now, still controlling off the dribble. Minute 5 left in the ball game. Mayhew cross court to Eaton, left wing. Eaton dribbles left to right, chased by Morrison. Dribble to the right sideline, got it to Boynton now, and Boynton is fouled. And the foul is on Charles Morrison. That is the 8th team foul on Mount Anthony. So Aaron Boynton will be at the line for a 1-and-1. That foul on Morrison is his first. 55 seconds left in the ball game. It is Rutland 58, Mount Anthony 53. Now Lucia and Cross are back in for Mount Anthony. Bergman and also Morrison check out. They did a nice job for Mount Anthony off the bench. Part of the Mount Anthony comeback effort here.
Most notably, it was Bergman with 5 points in this fourth quarter, all of them coming off of steals and layups at the other end, drawing a foul on one occasion, made 3 from 3 from the free throw line, and that really sparked this Mount Anthony comeback here in this fourth quarter.
Boynton's shot is up and good, and he will get another. 59-53, cool as can be. Aaron Boynton, the Raiders go up by 6.
This is big here for Boynton, and whether or not he makes Coach Fredrickson's visit to Gills a happy one or a sad one could rely on this free throw right here. If he makes this one, there'll be 26 reasons why he'll have a bad meal at Gills as far as the feeling in his stomach. The sub will be good, but he won't enjoy it as much.
Boynton hits the second, hits them both. The Raiders lead it 60-53. With it now is Muckle. When the left sideline in the middle, gets it to Lucia, left sideline. Lucia stops the dribble, back to Muckle. The long 3, no good, short. And the rebound is tapped up and good. I'm not sure who that was. It might have been Gully. I believe Gully got to tap that one in. Gully got underneath and somehow got the offensive rebound for the bucket. 60-55, a 5-point Raider lead as Eaton finds Boynton and lays it in. Beautiful play. Eaton found Boynton. The Raiders 62, Mount Anthony 55. 17 seconds left in the ball game. Here's Mount Anthony controlling with Harpin right side of the circle. Gets it to Galley. His long 3 is no good. And the rebound is controlled by Eaton. 5 seconds left, and we got the foul by Cross, and Eaton will be at the line for a 1-and-1. That's the 3rd on Cross, and the Raiders are going to win this one. 5 seconds left, 62-55. I believe that tap, did we give it to Galley? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Were a few hands on that basketball, the tap a few moments ago for Mount Anthony. The Raiders would answer, and Jake Eaton's at the line for a 1-and-1. His shot is good. We'll get another, the freshman, Jake Eaton. 63-55, the Raiders lead it by 8. Second shot by Jake Eaton is good, gets them both. The Raiders 64, Mount Anthony 55. Pass comes in now to Harpin in the backcourt. 3 seconds left into the forecourt. Right side of the circle, up for 3 as time expires, ending the ball game. It is no good, and the Raiders have won it. The 3 by Harpin at the buzzer fell off the rim as time expires, ending the ball game, and Rutland High has won it by a score of 64-55. That's your final. Rutland 64, Mount Anthony 55, and the Raiders.